Now, Donald Trump has said he destroyed the Iranian Navy. But was he right? Because although the regular Navy may have suffered huge losses, the force that's shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, a waterway that carries around 20% of the world's oil and gas, isn't the regular Navy at all. Trump has repeatedly boasted that Iran's Navy was almost entirely destroyed in the war.
They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft weaponry, they have no radar, they have no communication. They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no leaders, they have no nothing. Actually, their leaders are, it is regime change. You call that enforced regime change.
But what he has largely ignored is that another Iranian naval force exists, one that belongs not to the regular Navy, but to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. It remains fully operational. It's called the Mosquito Fleet, a flotilla of small, fast, agile boats designed to harass shipping. They form the heart of the IRGC's naval forces. These boats and the missiles and drones launched from them or from camouflage sites on shore have been the main threats hampering shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Individually, these boats are not very powerful, but in large numbers they can swarm bigger ships, strike quickly and retreat just as fast. Militaries use this strategy to overwhelm stronger vessels, making key waterways too dangerous to use. The IRGC Navy has about 50,000 personnel and operates across 5 separate zones of responsibility along the Gulf and maintains a presence on roughly 38 islands under Iranian control. 10 fortified, well-hidden bases have been built for these fast boats, some docked along piers inside deep caves, excavated along the rocky coastline, ready to deploy at a moment's notice. Well, the US has tried to destroy them, but has acknowledged that only about half have been sunk so far, without providing exact figures. And that's the problem. They're difficult to identify in satellite imagery because they're small, fast, and easy to hide. The IRGC Navy was created during the Iran-Iraq War, after Iran's regular Navy refused to attack oil tankers belonging to Iraq's allies, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. Well, what followed were some of the first attempts to disrupt oil traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Then in 1991, Iran watched as the US decisively defeated the Iraqi army and drew a conclusion. It could not win a direct confrontation with America, so it built a force designed not to win conventionally, but to make the cost of winning too high. Experts even have a phrase to describe this kind of warfare.
The IRGC Navy works more like a guerrilla force at sea. It is focused on asymmetrical warfare, especially in the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz. So instead of relying on big warships and classic naval battles, it depends on hit-and-run attacks.
Well, Donald Trump himself even acknowledged that the smaller, fast attack ships were largely ignored during US strikes.
Iran's Navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated. 158 ships. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships, because we did not consider them much of a threat.
Well, those vessels are now making it harder for tankers to transit through the Strait of Hormuz. Well, more than 20 vessels have been attacked since the war began. The IRGC rarely claims responsibility. Many attacks are also believed to have been carried out by drones launched from land, generating a faint radar signature that's hard to track. Iran doesn't even need to fully close the strait. It just needs to keep the threat alive. They've been able to choke the world's largest oil and gas waterway simply by keeping it at risk. Well, the United States has the most powerful navy on earth, and yet it's being outmaneuvered by boats that cost a fraction of a single American destroyer. And that's the logic of the Mosquito Fleet, not just to defeat the enemy, but to make the enemy regret ever showing up. The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, First Post America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is First Post America.